Number 10. Gaslighting. You ask your wife if she wants to go to the beach. She says yes. Friday comes, you tell her to pack, and suddenly she swears she never agreed because she hates sand. You remember differently, but she repeats it so often that you doubt yourself. That's gaslighting, making someone question their memory, perception, or sanity. It can start small. You're overreacting, you imagine that, but grow into large-scale rewriting of reality. The goal is control. The victim becomes unsure of their own judgment until they rely on the manipulator's version of events. Gaslighting can appear in relationships, workplaces, even politics. A boss who says, "I never promised you that raise," despite emails proving otherwise. Or a politician denying something they were caught on video saying. The longer it goes on, the more you second-guess your reality. Over time, gaslighting isolates you. Friends and family may not believe your side because the manipulator sounds so convincing. You begin to wonder, am I really the problem? That seed of doubt is the gaslighter's most powerful weapon. Number 9. Guilt tripping. Guilt tripping is emotional blackmail. Instead of asking directly for what they want, manipulators make you feel responsible for their unhappiness. It often comes disguised as disappointment. "I guess you're too busy for me," instead of "I miss you." Suddenly you feel guilty, even though you did nothing wrong. Guilt tripping works because humans hate the feeling of letting others down. It hijacks empathy. You scramble to fix the other person's feelings, even if you're not the cause. It's common in family dynamics. Parents saying, "After everything I've done for you, you can't even call once a week?" Or in workplaces, when a boss says, "If you cared about the team, you'd stay late tonight." The danger is that guilt piles up. You end up carrying responsibility for everyone's emotions while neglecting your own. Like an emotional gym, you're the only one doing the heavy lifting, except you don't get stronger, just exhausted. Number 8. Love bombing. Love bombing is the emotional fire hose. At first, it feels amazing. Flowers, gifts, compliments, constant attention. You're told you're the one. They're everything, the person they've waited for their whole life. But it's not about love. It's about speed and control. The flood of affection bypasses normal trust building and pushes you straight into deep commitment. You start to think, maybe this is fate. The manipulator then pulls back. The sudden absence of affection leaves you desperate to get back to that intense high. You start chasing their approval, thinking you did something wrong. Love bombing is common in abusive relationships, cults, and scams. The scammer who tells you after 2 online chats that they can't live without you. The cult leader who greets new recruits with endless praise and belonging. It's not love, it's a hook. A roller coaster designed to tie your self-worth to their approval. Number 7. Silent treatment. Silent treatment is weaponized silence. After conflict, one person cuts off all communication. No calls, no replies, no eye contact. It's like playing chess with someone who refuses to move. This tactic works because humans crave connection. When silence is withheld, it creates anxiety. You start wondering what you did wrong, even apologizing just to break the silence. It's used in romantic relationships, friendships, and workplaces. A partner who ignores you for days after a fight. A colleague who ices you out after disagreement in a meeting. The silence isn't peace, it's punishment. Psychologists call it demand-withdraw pattern. One person demands discussion, the other withdraws, leaving issues unresolved. Over time, this erodes trust. The victim feels invisible, while the manipulator holds the power to restore communication on their terms. It might feel subtle, but silent treatment cuts deep. It doesn't just stop conversation, it stops connection. Number 6. Triangulation. Triangulation turns 2 people into puppets. Instead of solving conflict directly, the manipulator drags in a third person, making the situation messy and unbalanced. In relationships, this could look like a partner saying, "Even my mom thinks you're overreacting." In workplaces, a manager might pit 2 employees against each other to avoid being blamed. It creates alliances and divisions. Suddenly, you're not arguing one-on-one, you're against a team. This breeds jealousy, rivalry, and insecurity. Triangulation gives the manipulator control because they position themselves as the referee or victim, while others fight among themselves. It also keeps people divided, preventing them from joining forces. It's a tactic as old as politics itself, divide and conquer, and the manipulator always benefits from standing at the top of the triangle. Number 5. Projection. Projection is emotional dodgeball. Instead of owning their feelings, manipulators hurl them at you. A jealous partner might accuse you of cheating. An angry person might call you aggressive. A dishonest coworker might insist you're the one who can't be trusted. It's a psychological defense mechanism. Admitting flaws makes people feel vulnerable, so they offload them onto others. "I'm not the problem, you are." Projection confuses victims, who begin defending against accusations instead of addressing the real issue. It derails honest communication and keeps the manipulator from self-reflection. Over time, projection creates a warped reality where you're constantly accused of traits that aren't yours, while the manipulator avoids accountability. Number 4. Blame shifting. Blame shifting is the vanishing act of responsibility. Mistakes don't disappear, they just get handed to you. Say someone misses a deadline. Instead of admitting it, they say, "Well, you should have reminded me." Now you feel guilty, even though it was their job. Blame shifting can escalate. "If you weren't so distracting, I wouldn't have yelled. If you weren't so sensitive, I wouldn't have hurt you." The manipulator twists the script until they're the victim and you're the cause. It works because it derails the conversation. Instead of discussing their mistake, you're defending yourself. Accountability is gone. Confusion remains. Blame shifting is common in toxic workplaces where leaders deflect onto subordinates to save face. It protects egos but destroys trust. Number 3. Playing the victim. Playing the victim is manipulation disguised as vulnerability. When caught doing wrong, the manipulator shifts attention to their suffering. Get called out for lying? Suddenly it's about how nobody ever trusts them. Hurt someone's feelings? Now it's about how they've been through so much already. It hijacks empathy. Instead of holding them accountable, you end up comforting them. Suddenly the person who caused harm is the one receiving sympathy. Playing the victim works especially well in public, where others jump to defend the poor, misunderstood manipulator. It buys them protection while silencing their critics. But repeated victim playing creates a pattern. Every mistake becomes someone else's fault. Every consequence becomes unfair. They never grow, and others pay the emotional cost. Number 2. Stonewalling. Stonewalling is the brick wall of communication. You try to talk about a problem, but the other person shuts down. Short answers, blank stares, or total silence. It can stem from emotional overwhelm, but often it's strategic. By refusing to engage, the manipulator controls the pace of the argument. No discussion means no resolution. Stonewalling is especially damaging in relationships. It leaves one person desperate for answers, while the other remains in control by simply doing nothing. Over time, it builds frustration, resentment, and emotional distance. It's like trying to drive on a highway where one car refuses to move. You're stuck in traffic until they decide otherwise. Number 1. Love withdrawal. Love withdrawal is when affection becomes conditional. You disagree and suddenly hugs stop. Texts go unanswered. Warmth vanishes. It's like hitting the pause button on love. This tactic makes you anxious. You start apologizing or changing behavior just to get affection back. It's emotional training. Behave the way they want, or they'll withhold care. Love withdrawal can be subtle. Less eye contact, reduced intimacy, or severe, like ignoring you entirely. Either way, it turns love into leverage. Over time, it creates dependency. You start measuring your self-worth by whether or not you're receiving affection. The relationship stops being about love and starts being about control. It's not a partnership, it's a cold war. No missiles, just missed texts. No explosions, just silence. And the longer it lasts, the more it erodes the foundation of trust. That's every major manipulation tactic, back to back in one 11-minute crash course. Each tactic bends emotions, twists trust, and flips accountability upside down. Because the truth is, manipulation isn't about winning an argument. It's about control. And once you see the strings, you'll never dance the same way again.